So hello everyone, this is AetherNightmare and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, and we're in my PJs again, so you know what that means. Time for a new job! So let us exit and go get employed. Last time we finished off Black Mage, so it's time to purify our soul with something a tad more holy. It's exact opposite, if you will. For that, we need to be in Gridania. So let us head to the Conjurer's Guild. It's kind of interesting that they hold their wizarding lessons deep down in a tree. Welcome, adventurer. You have come to Stillglade Fane, home of the Conjurer's Guild. We conjurers harness the power of the earth, wind, and water that abound in nature, and thereby weave spells of healing and protection. Ever do we seek noble souls to integrate into our mysterious. Might you be such a soul, come to join the guild? Then allow me to prepare you with an overview of what it is to be a conjurer. Conjury is the art of healing and purification. Its practitioners harness the power of nature that they might bring about change in the form of spells. Primitive magic such as the ones wrought by individuals known as mages, meaning those with the ability to manipulate aether, has existed since the dawn of time. It was not till some 5 centuries ago that conjury emerged from this shapeless amalgamation of spells and charms, and an event which led to the founding of Gridania. In those dark days, the elementals would not suffer man's presence in the Twelveswood, forcing our forebears to make their homes beneath the earth, in great subterranean city of Gelmora. Oh, so that is what that's all about. I was wondering why it was under the ground. But their desire to settle in the Twelveswood continued to burn fiercely. Time and again they sought to curry the elements' favor. Unlike men and other creatures bound in temples of flesh, the elementals are beings of pure aether. Recognizing this, the mages of Eld resonated that their talent for etheric manipulation might allow them to commune with those therefore two enigmatic entities. It took 5 long decades, but our forebears finally succeeded. Their reward? The elementals' permission to dwell in the Twelveswood. So it was that the nation of Gridania was born. Since that time, the elementals have taught us to live as one with nature, speaking to all Gridanians through the hearers, those mages who are able to commune with them. And for the intimacy with the elementals, the hearers would go on to attain greater majesty over the forces of nature. Thus did they conceive the art of conjury. And that, my most attentive listener, is a brief history of conjury. If you have a mind to walk our path, I wholeheartedly recommend you join our guild. It would be my pleasure to explain the initiation process to you. Pray speak with me again when you are ready. Is your mind made up? Are you ready to join the Conjurer's Guild? Accept. That is well. I shall introduce you to our guildmaster, Brother Isumiyan. Brother Isumiyan presides over the Conjurer's Guild even as he serves the nation as hearer. You will find him in the Mediterranean area within. Mediterranean. I wish, I'm so hungry. You will find him within the meditation area within. Go to him, and make known your desire to join the guild. Greetings, adventurer. I'm told you wish to become a conjurer of Stillglade Fane. I am Brother Isumiyan, master of this guild. Notice the horns. I've pointed this out before, but they are important. Before you are formally accepted into our ranks, I would impart to you the principles of conjury. Pray attend me well. Conjury is an arcane art that takes life and the living for its domain. Its primary purpose is the salving of hurts and the granting of protection. Adventurers such as yourself oft stand upon the front lines of battle. Owing to this, you are like to find yourself in many situations wherein a capacity for healing would be advantageous. Mind you, there is more to conjury than that. By harnessing the powers of earth, wind, and water, conjurers are also capable of weaving spells that wreak havoc. In terms of sheer destructive power, conjuring may pale in comparison to thaumaturgy, but its capacity to defend one against aggression more than compensates to this relative shortcoming. In mastering healing and purification, not only will you be able to mend wounds and purge afflictions, you will also be able to breathe life back into the fallen. Yeah, the pure irony about the dark magic quest that we just did is that more than likely it's not good for you, because everything we knew about it was a lie. More than simply healers, yet not true dealers of destruction, conjurers realize their full potential when they employ their powers in support of others. Thus, my dear adventurer, is what it means to be one of us. Mayhap that was too much to grasp upon a single hearing. But worry not, for the meaning of my words will become clear to you in due time. You will come to understand that conjurer is not the sole provenance of the conjurer. Should you wish to walk our path, I must needs ask that you solemnly vow to embrace nature, to heed the will of the elementals and the 12s alike. Can you make this vow? Showa. Pretty sure I'm already forced into that anyway. I knew your answer ere your lips had parted, yet I'm no less pleased to hear it. By the power vested in me, I hereby name you a member of the Conjurers Guild. If you would be so kind as to lend me your hunting log, I shall add to it the names of such creatures that would pose a suitable challenge to a conjurer. And to mark this momentous occasion, I present to you this cane. Though it may be old and weathered, it will serve you well as you take your first steps upon the path of the conjurer. Take up your cane and present yourself to me once more. I would assign you your first task as a conjurer of Stillglade Fane. So yeah, the weapons are very similar to Black Mage's, but also different, so you cannot swap them. Unlike other Final Fantasies, they are unique to each job. So let us go here and equip the cane. And add Conjurer to the list. Bit by bit, we're making progress. Anything else I can add? Yeah. Let's do that and then remove the gloves. Give us just a few more stats. My first cane. The part of Conjurer becomes you. Without further ado, I shall assign you your first task as Conjurer of Stillglade Fane. Just beyond the city gate, you will encounter squirrels, ladybugs, and funkars. I would have you slay 3 of each. Lest you wonder how I can so coolly order the taking of life, know that things are not as they once were, as a consequence of the calamity, and, I may add, though no fault of their own, these creatures have become a burden to the 12's wood, a burden it cannot well bear. As a conjurer, it is your duty to carry out the will of the forest, and by employing your powers in doing so, you will come to learn something of your art. Go now, and perform your first task in the name of the elementals. Okay, so the only spell I have right now is Stone, which is a damage dealing spell. We cannot even heal yet. We're a healer who cannot even heal. Weird. Anyway, let's head out of here. And we need to go to... not you. The Central Shroud, okay. We're going out through the Central Route. Out the front door it is. I kind of should have figured, but... my brain, computing properly. Oh, and this cast might be a tad fast. Because I am under the influence of eating food. So there we go, not too much different from Black Mage right at the outset. And unlike other MMOs, as a White Mage you will be dealing damage, so keep that in mind. Action learned, we can now cure. Ability to babysit has now been unlocked. Yeah, White Mage 2 primarily does healing as well. If you're in a team comp with something like a Scholar or a Sage, have them primarily do shielding while you focus on healing, since you're the best healer. We all have our strengths and weaknesses after all. Okay, what else? Fungars. Those are further in. And remember, if you get too low on HP, unlike Black Mage, you can always heal yourself, too. Like this. Doesn't do much now, but it will eventually. Or arrow. Okay, we're already getting more spells. That is our damage over time. Is basically just like lightning was with Black Mage. So normally you want to cast this first. And it will do a little bit of damage over time. As you can see too, our MP regenerates so much faster than Black Mage does. No offense, Black Mage. Alright, Mightlings are next. That's a North Shroud. These are in the green tier. Be more this way. I want to get to level 5. Just to make this a little more concise. Fates. Depends on the fate. Bugs spotted. These ones are a little stronger. But like I said, we can heal. Of course, if something takes you out faster than you can heal, that'll be a problem. One more. Thankfully, these are friendly, so I won't get ambushed, but still. Ooh, the water sprites are right here, too. Let's see. Here we go. Already a better outfit. Minus the hands. These are, not for this class. Wonder how many of these I need. Remember too, a lot of damage is based off of gear, not just level, so don't go try grinding too much at the beginning without better gear. Make sure your gear is never more than 10 levels off from what you are, otherwise you are significantly underpowered. Three. I need 3 of those. Alright, one more, then I'm heading back. I do cast quicker, but on the downside, I don't do as much damage. Keep missing. Like I said, keep in mind too, I am under the influence of a grape juice. Oh, maybe not. No, I'm not anymore. It timed out. Alright, back to the Conjurer's Guild. Here we go. And we're level 6, so we should be all set for getting our next gear set. Welcome back. The elementals have told me of your success. By placing yourself in the midst of nature and seeing with it with a conjurer's eyes, you have taken your first step along the path to enlightenment. Healing, protection, and destruction. Though our spells vary in function, they all derive their power from the same source, the forces embodied in all creation. By gaining a true understanding of these, a conjurer may call upon them to manipulate his environment, thereby realizing the state of being that he desires. Ah, yes, yours is a familiar look, the very picture of confusion. Be not disheartened, for comprehension shall come in due time. For now you must learn to reach out to the forces embodied in each of us. Pray hearken to mine instructions. Breathe deep and open your eyes, that which cannot be seen. Feel the myriad of life around you, and draw upon this boundless reservoir of energy. Pick up your cane, and use it to lend that energy form. Or smack whatever telemarketer has called me like 3 fucking times in this one recording. Make it stop. Go forth, my young conjurer, and be at one with the world. Return to when you have learned to draw upon the forces within you, with the self-same ease you draw upon those within. Next conjurer quest will be available from East Sumian upon reaching level 5, which I already am. Heck, by the time I get this piece of armor, it might be outdated. It is good to see you again. By the air of serenity that surrounds you, it is if only. It is plain to see you have learned to draw upon the energy of creation. I'm glad. It is the wellspring of all our powers. Yet the energy of creation is not one thing, but many, and to call upon it without first knowing each is a conjury at its most basic. As a part of your continuing education, it is my desire that you now learn about the element of earth. Make your way to the Blessed Bud in the North Shroud, and there partake of Hearer Nolanel's wisdom. The depth of his affinity for the elementals of rock and soil is all but unique amongst conjurers, and he is a gifted instructor besides. You may be certain of receiving a most enlightening lesson on the subject of earth. Alright, let's head out to the North Shroud. Yeah, this one I might not be able to space out as much either. For videos, I might have to do them every time I get an update, depending on what spells I get, because otherwise my team will suffer. Also, while we're here, Whitelings. Trust me, when you have an underleveled or undergeared healer, everybody knows. And with how much I've been struggling in dungeons as of late with people who don't know how to do either tank or healer, I'm gonna be a little self-conscious about it. Wait, you guys are... It seemed like they were working with this might, but it just happens to be there. You seek Hearer Nolanel? Then seek no more, for you have found him. What can I do for you, friend? Oh, it's you? So Brother Isumian bid you to come to me to learn of the element of earth? That is well. The power of earth is the solid foundation upon which a conjurer stands. I could happily lecture you for days on its intricate variations and properties. Pretty sure that's just called geology. But I rather suspect the busy life of an adventurer would not afford the time required for such extended discourse. Accordingly, I shall offer you an opportunity to experience the qualities of earth firsthand, in combat. Now mark me well, and do exactly as I command. East of here in the grounds of Treespeak Stables there exists a patch of soil that bears the mark of corruption. Seek it out. When you have found that place, reach out to the focus of the earth's trauma, and attempt to commune with it, as all conjurers can. Resentful of your intrusion, the tainted being that feasts unseen upon the energies seeping from the wounded earth shall then appear. Using the powers of conjury, strike it down, and permit the land a chance to heal. Much of nature of earth will be revealed to you during the struggle. I trust you will return to me a wiser person than the one who now departs. I'm assuming it's not that big of a deal, otherwise you would have dressed it yourself, because it's right here. Dude really be like, I don't do cardio, you do it. It's in a crop, no less. Tainted Earth Spirit. Yeah, what's with all that goop? We're both hurling rocks at each other. What's the difference between this and just picking up and chucking a rock? I have no clue. Report back. Welcome back. The elementals whisper of your accomplishments. How did it feel to confront that embodiment of Earth? To endure its onslaught? Has the crushing power of the element shaken the very marrow of your bones? Corruption occurs when the land's wounds are prevented from healing. In vanquishing the tainted sprite, you permitted the Earth's energies to flow unimpeded to nourish the land once more. Can you not sense the strength of the Earth returning? Already the land begins to heal. Thanks to your actions, the field will once again bear bountiful crops. When next you have reason to call upon your art, look back upon this task, and with which you have accomplished. Experience once more the grinding weight of the Earth's fury, and revel in the memory of life flowing anew through the land you helped restore. With such thoughts, shall your understanding of nature continue to grow. I hope you were paying attention, Sylphie. See this adventurer here? Bren came all the way from Stillglade Fane just to hear my lesson. You would do well to learn from their example. If you wish to become a conjurer worthy of the name, you must make an effort to study nature. Do you attend me, young lady? Why should I bother studying nature? I can conjure already. See? You have a rare gift for healing, Sylphie. A wonderful gift. Yet there is more to being a conjurer than... But I don't want to do more. I want to heal. I'm good at healing. You can't make me do those other things. Basically the attitude of everyone else coming from different MMOs where healers only heal. Being like, wait, what do you mean I got a DPS? Sometimes I wonder why I even try. Sylphie joined the guild shortly before you came to us. As you yourself just experienced, she possesses a prodigious talent for healing. Indeed, despite our tender years, I know a few conjurers who are her equal in that field. Alas, nature, the very wellspring of her power, holds no interest for the child, and when she should by rights be learning about the land, she prefers instead to wander it, healing people on a whim. You, in contrast, have been a most attentive student. I have taught you all I know about the element of earth. You may report back to Brother Isumi and tell him as such. Oh yeah, and as you can see with his little tree branch there that he wields, Conjurer is just like Black Mage. You can have a two-handed weapon or you can have a single-handed weapon and a shield. Two-handed is usually better in the long run for dungeons, but if you're struggling out in the open, then switch to two. Of course, go with whatever has the best stats, but if you have an abundance of them for some reason. Such a ways away down here. Is this meant to replicate part of your old city that was underneath the trees? Ah, Bren, you have returned, but tell me, how did you fare under Nolanel's expert tutelage? Have you delved deep into the earth and felt its suffocating weight, its life-sustaining vigor? Such experiences will serve you well. And have you aught else to report? A fledgling conjurer named Sylphie cast healing magic upon you? How kind of her. I must confess to sharing Nolanel's frustration with the girl. As you yourself have witnessed, Sylphie possesses a natural talent for the conjuring of mending and restoration. Alas, her gifts appear to have blinded her to the need for study, and she outright refuses to learn about the natural world. She knows nothing of the elements of earth and wind, and is quite incapable of conjuring even the tiniest pebble or the faintest breeze. I have tried upon numerous occasions to explain to her that conjurers who are ignorant of the source of their powers pose risk to themselves and others, but all to no avail. Should she continue to deny the debt she owes to nature, and indulge in ever more reckless displays of power, there is every possibility that she will create a dangerous imbalance. Needless to say, I'm presently at a loss to know how much of an eventuality might be prevented. Ah, such a thought occurs to me. It may be that your encounter with Sylphie was ordained by the elementals. Should you chance to meet with her again, I ask that you strive to impress upon her the importance of opening oneself to nature's voice. Mayhap she will listen to you. But we have discussed our wayward young friend's education enough. Let us speak instead of one of my more willing pupils, namely you. The progress you have made does you great credit. Though you are yet new to the art of conjuring, you're no stranger to nature's embrace. Considering all that you have learned, I hope that you understand the true significance of these words. There we go, we got 2 now. Alright, based on what we have equipped, that's actually worse, so... I guess I don't need any of it. So we'll go with what we got. For now. Gloves not included. Yeah, I'll probably sort some of this out for now, but in the meantime, I gotta make it up to level 10, at least, so see you back here sometime along the way. Okay, so I made it up to level 21 fairly quickly. The moment I got into duties, I was able to level up relatively easy, probably because my duty finder doesn't take forever to go off anymore. Healers are in high demand. But it took me forever to grind up to level 15 in order to have access to duties, but once I gained access to them, I was pretty much fine. I'm not used to healing, though. I play more mouse and keyboard with healing just because of how I have to tap over. It's a little harder to do on controller. Brother Isumiyan wants to learn about the element of wind. You can probably do it with the D-pad up and down buttons, but brain, compute, easier to click. Greetings. Each time we meet, the part of Conjurer befits you ever better. In your previous lesson, you learned about the element of earth. It is my desire that you next become acquainted with wind. Oh, I've already become very acquainted. Travel to Faux-Flower Combe in the East Shroud and seek the teachings of Hearer Wolfew? Though scant few years have passed since her coming of age, Wolfew is a conjurer of consummate skill who is able to divine the will of air elementals with uncommon clarity. I can recommend no better tutor for your lessons in the mysteries of wind. What can I say? I'm an impatient person and I like my short queue times. Although I think so many tanks at this point with all the new people are getting PTSD because they keep turning around, like completely turning around to check to make sure I'm behind them like a little shadow, despite the fact that I haven't messed it up yet. Nobody's died. You must be Bren. Brother Isumiyan sent word to expect you. It shall be my pleasure to instruct you on the patterns of gusts and gales. Now, how to proceed? Pray forgive my hesitation. It was but recently that I attained the title of Hearer, and, well, you are my first student. Ah, yes, I believe I have a suitable task for you. To the east of Sweetbloom Pier there is a small spring giving rise to a pool. Go there and clear the air of honeybee swarms, which lately took up residence in the area. You seem uncertain. Mayhap you wonder why the connection between my request and subject of your study. I sympathize, but trust me, inexperienced though I may seem, the steed will deepen your understanding of wind. Of honeybees? Now, if it was a hornet that was destroying other honeybees, maybe, but honeybees? Honey, those are precious. And, like, necessary for the survival of pretty much everything. I'm sorry, bees. Welcome back. I take it the bees are no more. Tell me, did you happen to notice many of the Vilekin's preferred flowers in the vicinity of the spring? I ask because there are none. Strange then it is not that the bees should choose to congregate there. And what has caused this aberrant behavior? Still your mind and reach out with your senses. Can you feel it? The path of wind veers from its natural course, sweeping hapless creatures along in its wake. Something is playing havoc with the air currents. Such a disturbance bespeaks corruption. Return to the spring near Sweetbloom Pier and search for pockets of corrupted air. Should you find one, use your powers of conjuring to disperse it. Man, this planet's so messed up it can't even do air right. Do I... Oh, I gotta investigate it. I was trying to blow it away. I was trying to do the Genshin thing. But yeah, during so many of my DPS trials, either the tank, healer, or both didn't understand their job, so we would just wipe over and over and over again. I'm stuck in DPS form. There was just nothing I could do. Yeah, trying to. Huh? Sister Woofy, leave healing to me. Channel your energies into offense. Slime. I guess it... Maybe you should only focus on the one, otherwise it just continuously summons more and more. But I was high enough level it didn't matter. Well done, the wind is no longer keens its frustration. Let us return to full flower. I could have if I was Arcanist or Summoner, because you get a healing spell. But with DPS you can maybe heal yourself or increase your defense, but yeah, especially as Black Mage, there's just nothing you can do. You get one shield for yourself that doesn't last very long, and that's it. I must apologize for exposing you to such danger. The corruption was greater than I anticipated, but it is through trials that we flourish as conjurers. So many times I'd have to cast sleep and like run back the other direction. Now then, what did you learn as you struggled with the air's grasp? You will doubtless have noticed that wind does not strike with the instant crushing force of earth. Instead it torments one's form, dancing across every surface and leaving 1,000 tiny wounds in its wake. Wind blade! These are agonies of erosion. Having experienced such pain, you are now intimately acquainted with the wind's capacity for patient destruction. No land is a stranger to its power. When you stand under distant skies and feel the wind's familiar caress upon your skin, remember the lessons you have learned here this day. I suppose I should be grateful that this latest elemental disturbance manifested itself at such an opportune time. Only the gods know what I would have taught you had it not. Yet the growing frequency of such phenomena begins to concern me. Especially since we're moving into an astral era instead of an umbral one. While it is true that the calamity wrought much harm upon the Twelveswood, I suspect some other force is at work here. I bid you remain wary. But enough of those ominous rumblings. I regret to say that your time with me is at an end. Return to Stillglade Fane and inform Brother Isumi of your newfound mastery. Oh, and be sure to thank him for sending me such a willing first student. Very well. Back to Gridania. Into my hovel. The fact that we can cast stone and we learn white magic underground kind of does make it seem like it crosses over with Geomancer a bit. Welcome back. The elementals inform me that you have opened your ears to the voice of the wind. This as well. Having made allies of 2 elementals, you are well on your way along the path of Conjurer, though full comprehension of those forces will only come to you in the fullness of time. Be patient. As you seek to embrace nature more fully, so will nature hold you more closely. They made you study wind? Why bother? You don't need wind to heal things, whatever those dreary lessons tell you. Conjurer is inexorably bound to nature, Sylphie. That dreary lesson is one you should have learned by now. I assume by your presence here that you have once again abandoned your tutors. You must understand, if you persist in casting spells without the proper knowledge... I have all the knowledge I need. My mother never needed to embrace nature to heal, and these people she helped were thankful for her art. I'll learn conjuring the same way she did, and become just as great a conjurer. You'll see. But I didn't come here to argue with you. I wanted to tell you that I've discovered how to cast rays. How? What were you thinking, girl? Do you not know what you do? What you risk? You are meddling with forces beyond your comprehension. Should you even attempt to use that spell, I will have no recourse but to strip you of the name of Conjurer and banish you from our halls. Do I make myself clear? Why must you be so angry with me? It's not as if I was trying to hurt anyone. Because you probably have to draw your power from somewhere. But that's... Sylvie, my dear child, that is precisely the point. Why don't you just tell her outright? My apologies. I hope you do not find these constant disruptions distracting. As you have just heard, Sylphie's mother was also a conjurer who was unable to use any spells outside of the sphere of healing. Needless to say, Sylphie seeks to emulate her in every way. I'm guessing it's an FMA thing, Fullmetal Alchemist thing, where it's like, oh, well, equivalent exchange, it has to come from something, in which case it's probably her life force or something. It is a rare and wondrous talent to heal without relying on the energies of nature, but such power is not born of true conjuring. By all that we know of the art, it should not be possible for Sylphie to cast rays. I shudder to think what would happen if she tried. Maybe she's trading, like, her injuries for others, and if she cast rays, it would just flat out kill her. I feel my inability to set her upon the true path reflects my own feelings as a teacher. I am only glad that these same failings have not hindered you, whether it be with my help or in spite of it. I believe that you will become a fine conjurer. Already you are blessed with that great power, and more shall be yours should you persevere with our art. I indeed hope that you shall. Yet, however much you grow, however more powerful you become, remember that ours is a power borrowed, not taken. Or maybe it upsets the elementals and brings some sort of wrath down upon you. I'm not sure which it is, but if there's a reason for it, tell her the truth! Trial by water. It's good to see you again. The aura you exude is plain that you have grown farther as a conjurer. It's time that you acquaint yourself with the third element of our art, water. Is that the healing part? For the first part of your lesson, you are to take this flask of pristine water and pour it at the foot of the hedge tree found near the hawthorn hut. The water's purity will draw forth the corrupting entity that is siphoning the tree's life force. Dispatch this being, and then speak with Brother Joaquin at the hawthorn hut. As you might expect, he is a conjurer with a fine ear for the murmurings of brook and stream. Listen well to his advice if you would learn to master the element of water. I'm guessing maybe water is our healing spell. Like, cure. Maybe. I don't know. Actually, where am I going? Oh, I'm going out to East Shroud? I'm wasting my time. I thought it would be raining out here. I'm like, oh, that'd be perfect. Learning about water spells in the rain. It's further away than I thought. I mean, it's a water elemental. I wonder, too, if White Mage used to have more spells based off of elements. Like, maybe they did have a water spell back in the original release, and maybe they just don't anymore. I'm not sure. Similar to how Black Mage elements actually corresponded with weaknesses, rather than one being tons of energy all at once and one to be small energy during MP restoration. It's just changed over time. Greetings. Brother Isumi informed me of you coming. I assume it was you who purified the befouled water at the hedge tree. The joyous bubbling of the elementals was a pleasure to hear. On behalf of both them and myself, I thank you. Now, without further ado, let us speak of that which Brother Isumi sent you here to learn. I trust you do not find it strange to be asked to tend to a tree when your lesson this day concerns the element of water. One need not have studied botany to realize that the forest requires more than rich soil to flourish. Water is essential for carrying the nutrients in the earth from the tree's roots all the way to the very tips of its leaves. The precious liquid is the lifeblood of the Trelpswood, pretty much everything. Without it, naught would grow. But should it rise in too great a volume and too swiftly, the nourishing flow will become a crashing wave that washes away all before it. It is important to realize that all of nature is in a balance. As Conjurer derives its power from nature, we must take care to use our art in a manner like this, to not disrupt this state. Ever must we be mindful of the ceaseless tug of war embodied in creation. My phone was blocking the screen. This fruitful stalemate of the elements. Brother Joaquin, are you about? I'm here, sir. What has transpired? I heard a young antelope stags has gone berserk. I don't know what's got him so panicked, but there's no calming him now. The mad beast gored the soldiers sent to shepherd him away from the civilian settlements, leaving us with a pile of wounded over at Jocelyn's Spire, and not enough hands to staunch the bleeding. We need a healer and fast. Curious. I sensed nothing amiss in the whispering of the elementals. What could have frightened those antelopes so? Apologies. I shall revisit the musings anon. Let us make haste. People are dying, sir. If matters are as chaotic as you say, I fear the number of injured may be rising as we speak. Speak and move your ass at the same time, then. I doubt that we two will suffice. We must divide our forces. Bren, travel straightway to Jocelyn's Spire and tend to the wounded. I shall endeavor to rally further healers and follow you after bearing what restorative unguents I can. You, sir, head to Stillgate Fane and beseech the aid of Brother Isumi. Maybe it's that one girl not following the proper laws of the elementals. Maybe she freaked him out. Do take sufficient precautions when traversing the Trelpswood. This area has an abundance of belligerent beasts, and even experienced adders have to seek my care. Okay, and Spire is here. Up top. Inside, maybe? Who are a conjurer, you say? Praise Nofika. You've come not a moment too soon. Sounds like more wounded have just been carried in. Pray offer them what aid you can. Oof. Got secure. Oh, not on me. On him. I can breathe again, thank you. These folk are out of danger for the present, but I fear our reprieve spell shall be brief. The battle with the stags yet rages, and there are reports of yet more wounded. I bid you join the Woodwheelers and help put an end to this. Seek them just off the road that leads to the northeast, and do not worry. My art should be sufficient to prevent measures from worsening here. Now go. Proceed. I'm used to these having some sort of glowy thing. This one just has you jump right in. We're really getting our butts beat by deer. Conjurer, your aid. And why am I just standing here like a fish again? Go. Keep an eye on everybody. I'm still a tad slow with it, but it's fine. Remember, you can cast Medica to go out in a arc. Really? More? On your guard, there's more of them. We don't have any tanks either. Now they're targeting me. Have a wind. Yay! Mid-battle, level up. Sometimes the best defense is good offense. And nobody died. I noticed too she doesn't use her tree branch. Yes, I know it's called a wand. But she's healing through her fingertips rather than healing through her wand. Miss! I'm fine. Don't mind me. Yeah, she's hurting herself. She's totally... Pray tell me that we are not too late. Sylphie, what have you done? I forbade you from using such methods. Guildmaster! I will not see you repeat your mother's mistakes. My mother never did anything wrong. Ren, may I ask that you follow her, please? I fear my presence will only serve to provoke her further. She cannot have gone far in her weakened state. And I think we pointed this out in the MSQ, but the reason he has horns isn't because he's like part Aura, but I believe he's part like Elemental. And I think he has like a really long lifespan or something too. I'm not sure of the full details yet. But he's not 100% human is my point. I don't understand. When I try to cast spells, nothing happens. When I reach for my power, there's just nothing there. Is this what the Guildmaster was trying to warn me about? He said I was repeating my mother's mistakes. The same thing happened to her. Losing her magic, I mean. And then she... Am I going to die? This can't be happening. I don't think... Please, I need to be alone. And back to Conjurer's Guild. Yeah, it totally is. She's using her own life force. She's gotta be. Bren, you returned at last. Were you able to speak with Sylphie? I see. I once taught you that conjurers harness the power of nature that we might bring about change. Earth, wind, water, healing, the principle is no different. Yeah, I've not really seen water. I wonder if they got rid of it. For the art of mending, we draw on the boundless life force of nature and bestow it upon the wounded. Sylphie has never sought to borrow from that bounty. Her power to heal stems from her own life force. The vital energies of mortals are, however, finite, and now that which I most feared has come to pass. Her mother unwittingly took her own life through the continued use of her healing skills, and Sylphie's aptitude for the art is, if anything, even greater. Thus it is not unexpected that she should reach the limits of her strength at a much earlier age. If we do not intervene, this terrible tragedy will be repeated, and I for one could not bear to see the child suffer the same fate as her mother. Even now, how many years has she given up on accident? I shall think on a solution to this dark dilemma. It may be that I will have need of your assistance in the near future. Do not doubt your abilities. You are a conjurer who has passed the trials of earth, wind, and water. You grow close to nature with every passing day, and I sense within you the seeds of greatness. In your encounter with water, you learned its role as a bringer of life, but you also felt the impeccable power of a surging wave as it swept you along its path. Like earth and wind, and nature at large, the element of water is possessed of more than one aspect. Ice? Having completed the third lesson, I'm satisfied that you have mastered the fundamentals of conjuring. Yet this is but the beginning of your journey. Henceforth, you must strive to attune yourself ever more closely to the elements and to nature. Oh, but I can't equip gear to my head. Never mind. I also gotta learn. I won't have the next quest access until level 25 anyway. What am I? What quest number is this? What quest number is you? 20? Okay. I'm kind of worried about my inventory. Oh, I can use this. It's a Hagen card. I must have gotten that when I... Oh, really? Disciple of Magic? My hats are full again. And I can just get rid of some of this stuff, and then we can go right through it. Some of this is easy enough to get. Alright, let's do it. Greetings. You radiate the confidence of a conjurer who neglects not their study of the elements. I confess I have no lesson for you this day. Instead, I would ask that you aid me in the education of another. I speak of Sylphie. After no small amount of prompting, bordering on coercion, the child has finally promised to attempt to embrace the forces of nature, but I'm afraid the matter is not so easily resolved. Sylphie has never attempted to learn the basic offensive spells that you and most other conjurers mastered before first venturing into the wild. As such, she is ill-equipped to undertake the trials which furnished you and your peers with an understanding of the elements. Put simply, she is no match for the tainted spirits of nature. Basically everybody coming off of World of Warcraft. But if a more capable conjurer were to accompany her and purify the corruption in her stead, it may yet serve to impress upon her the power of the forces at work. I bid you take her on a pilgrimage around the Twelveswood, and give her the opportunity to witness these confrontations firsthand. Earth, wind, and water, she must know them all. Show her the mastery and primal ferocity of nature. As it was with you, let the earth be her first lesson. Sylphie awaits you at the Bent Branch Meadows. Pray forgive my presumption, but I thought it best to send her on ahead while her conviction remained strong. Once you have located the patch of corrupted soil at Bent Branch, draw forth the tainted sprite and let her witness the struggle that ensues. May the elements aid you in this endeavor. I should say of every healer coming off World of Warcraft. Obviously not every player, but... Except where is she? It's just having me do this again. How am I meant to give her practice, and why is this place always getting corrupted? Oh, there you are. I didn't see you. Were you here the whole time? I wasn't scared. I was just a little startled, that's all. It was as if a mass of solid wrath had just erupted from the ground. I've never felt anything like... I mean, never mind. We have to head to Bannock next. Let's get this over with. Well, she mentioned she could feel something. Oh, she is here. Seems to be the place. I'll be watching, so do whatever it is you do. The usual. Or, you know, she could just have another job entirely separate from conjuring. There's a thing in the Black Mage quest as well. Would you like to learn alchemy, dear? Gods! The wind blew straight through me. It felt both gentle and sharp at the same time. I can't explain it. Is this something you can conjure? Let's be on our way. The last one is at Lilystone. Oh wow, that's a ways. Why so far away? I'm just saying, she doesn't have to have an aptitude for conjury. She can be a carpenter and make staffs for people instead. Tainted water's here. Show me how it's done then. Basically, cast wind, throw rocks. Heck, you can join in and you don't even need magic. I'm sure there's some line around here. The lake is so beautiful, I never noticed how clearly the sky reflected is on its surface. I never noticed. Let's head back. I'm ready to speak with the guildmaster now. Maybe you need to have an appreciation of nature in order to cast white magic. Person must be doing something similar, but they're in the wrong class. Must be another quest down here eventually. Or one I've already done. Welcome back, my avid conjurers. How fared you in your encounter with the elements? Sylphie, what did you sense as Bren cleansed the sources of corruption? It's hard to explain. It was like hearing voices cry out in joy. And I felt their happiness wash over me. The world seemed sharper, more alive. It was almost as if nature were speaking to me. But why, Brother Isumi? Why did my mother teach me to avoid the sight of conjury? What was she so afraid of? There are certain truths that hide behind the mask of our words, and there is much that your mother didn't tell you. But you needn't seek all the answers at once, Sylphie. Even now, your mind founders amid a sudden inundation of awareness. The first time we connect with nature can be wonderful but disorienting of an experience. I suggest you allow yourself some time to adjust to this new perspective. Yes, Guildmaster. You have my gratitude. Thanks to you, Sylvie has taken a most important step. You heard her mention voices crying out in joy, did you not? It appears the mother's gift has been passed down to the daughter. Such sensitivity is not something one can achieve through meditation and training, but a blessing that only a few fortunate chosen receive. As you have no doubt surmised, Sylvie's mother was one such person. Maybe the voices get too loud, though. The misunderstanding of that blessing, however, was what led her down the tragic path. We cannot allow Sylvie's astonishing talents to consume her in the same manner. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. The girl has barely awoken to her potential. And for that potential to be fully realized, your support is yet needed. I suspect she failed to mention that the promise of your involvement in her lessons was the reason for her change of heart. You underestimate the impression your quiet determination has made on young Sylvie. If modesty prevents you from acknowledging your own good deed, consider this task a part of your training. For conjurers or healers of wounds, be they physical or otherwise, walk with her on her journey, and together explore the myriad mysteries of nature. Anything better? Probably not, because I'm dungeon running. The gloves are technically better. As are the shoes. Shoes are overall a better fit. Pun intended. Even though they look kind of funny. Oh well. But yeah, next one's at 25. My bad. Maybe the one I did was just really long. Because there was at least 2, I remember that, but I'll come back after I reach probably 25 or 30, since I don't seem to be getting my spells from these quests. I thought I would, similar to Black Mage, but I'm not, so we shall see. But yeah, I worry about Sylvie. If she hears the voices of the elements too strongly, it might actually become a source of torment for things she's unable to change, in which case, why did you teach her in the first place? Let her be a carpenter or something. But anyway, I'll see you back here when I am high enough level. Alright, level 30, we can just straight shot to the end now. Like mother, like daughter. Welcome, Bren. The tales of your deeds reach me here, even in the cloistered of the Stillgate Fane. Glad I am that you've come, for I would ask your assistance in a matter of some delicacy. It concerns, yes, the young Sylvie once again. As you can no doubt imagine, the recent revelations concerning her mother have sorely troubled the poor child. It appears Sylvie needs some time alone to sort through the whirlwind of emotions which now beset her. She has, in short, fled from the guild. Fortunately, a party of conjurers who were dispatched to the South Shroud to investigate another instance of corruption sent word that they have spotted our wayward Sylvie. Considering the importance of their mission, I would not seek to distract the conjurers from their tasks. Thus, I would have you escort Sylvie back here to the guild. You are, I believe, one of the few people to whom she will listen. Pray travel to Pescarin Struthers and speak with Wolfew. Well, I can never say Wolfew. She was the conjurer who first chanced upon Sylvie and will be able to tell you more of how the young lady fares. Yeah, I remember who they are. It's just pronouncing it again. What'd she run off for this time? Voices in your head starting to get to you, or what? We meet again. I assume Brother Isumi warned you of the corruption of my companions, and I've been tasked with purifying here in the South Shroud. The source of this extensive blight is found to the southeast. The shrill, the discordant voices of the elementals shriek their dismay in the vicinity of the withered treant. I suggest you give the area a wide berth. Considering the potential dangers, you might imagine how alarmed I was to discover young Sylvie wandering about this part of the Twelves Wood. It seems that her mother, a woman who healed with conjury but remained untrained by the guild, called this region her home. Sylvie herself had her head buried in some manner of tome, but if she is as sensitive to the elemental's murmurings as I am led to believe, then the din within her mind must be driving her to distraction. Pray speak with the child to see that she is well. I would do so myself if our current duty were not so pressing. We will, in fact, be setting out at any moment. Yeah, if it gets too bad, she might have to leave the 12's Wood. Where is she? Out back? In here? Out back. Nope, she's in here. You're too young for this place, Missy. Bren, I should have known that Wolfew would chattel on me, and Brother Isumi sent you to take me back, didn't he? This is where my mother used to live, you know, right up until she passed on. Folk were grateful for the healing she offered. As this journal she used to keep, there's an entry that explains how nature becomes furious when conjurers use their art. However, there are always more people wounded in battle when mortals abuse the power that is not theirs to take. My mother refused to draw on nature because she was scared of making me angry. Then just follow the rules. She would lie about such things, and I would want to do what she would have wanted. I'm going to stop using conjuring altogether. I've never heard the voices this mad before. It's best to cause... I bet it's because Wolfew and the others are overusing their art. We have to go and stop them. Are you sure it's not because you said you wanted to quit? I'm sorry, I'm just having so much trouble pronouncing the name all of a sudden. Yeah, that's something. Gods, it's so loud. Can't you hear it? Nature is shrieking in rage. Mud pie. Nature is angry with us. You mustn't use any more conjury. I say as I use conjury. Only making nature more furious. Are you sure it's not because of the corruption, though? Maybe it's because I'm using it on me. I'm not close enough. Oh, look, an elemental. Back there. People have asked if I'd ever seen one, and now I can definitively say yes. There's another one. Nature sends thunder and lightnings against us. What more proof do you need? Are you sure the elements themselves aren't just corrupted? Wait, the elements are helping us? Because we were clearing out the corruption, honey. Maybe you need to do more element study, more aether study. Never has the earth so confounded me, I must apologize. Thank you for your timely assistance. With the origin of the corruption now neutralized, we should be able to cleanse whatever traces remain. You possess quite an affinity for the elements. That was most impressive. I can't believe nature actually helped us. There was nothing scary about it at all. I might still wonder if it really was safe for conjurers to borrow that power if I hadn't seen the way you wield it. Nothing could seem more natural. I think it's time I went back to the guild. There are a few things I need to collect first, so please go on ahead without me. Maybe don't attempt to learn conjury in a day. That's like people who look at any other medicine and are like, oh, but you have to put something in the body that is otherwise poison in a high enough dose, or you have to cut people open to heal them, and it's like, yeah, you need to get a further understanding of how medicine works. Same might be true here. Welcome back. And you too, Sylphie. Brother Isumi, I'm sorry I ran away like that. I understand, child. Do you find the answers you sought? Yes, thanks to Bren. They showed me that nature was nothing to be afraid of. I mean, depends on the circumstances. I think I know why my mother refused to call upon its power. She believed the act caused suffering to nature itself. I see. So it was her very love for nature that prevented her from drawing on its strength. Tell me, Sylphie, has the fog of indecision now lifted from your mind? It has, Guildmaster. I understand now why my mother chose the path she did. I'm full glad to hear it, for I must ask you one more question. Yes, Brother Izumi? When you first witnessed Bren cleanse a corrupted element, you mentioned hearing voices. How exactly did they sound? The voices? Well, they sounded joyful, like a crowd letting out a sudden cheer. I really heard them, I swear. I'm sure you did, Sylphie. This is a gift. Conjurers may sense the power of nature and borrow from its strength, but not all can hear its whispers. What you described are the voices of the elementals. You may very well possess the talent to become a hearer. A hearer? Of course, much relies on your studies of conjuring. You have a natural aptitude, but have thus far lacked commitment. You must not neglect your training, Sylphie. Otherwise, you keep throwing yourself into the middle of things and causing problems. Putting aside such matters for a moment, I'm curious to hear about the disturbances you observed in the South Shroud. I assume from the reports I have received that it was of a different magnitude to those which you have previously encountered, am I correct? This bodes ill. The creatures known as mudpies are not native to the Twelveswood. I wonder what relation this may have to the seemingly ever-increasing frequency of these disturbances. Something beyond the damage wrought by the calamity afflicts the Twelveswood. I shall commune with the elements and seek to identify this threat. Bren, Sylphie, I have need of you both before long. Until then, give yourself over to the study of our art. Ever shall the earth meet your footfall, and the wind guide your path. I know I bring up Dot Hack a lot, but his character really does look like one of the guild masters in Dot Hack. Specifically the GU series. Ah, Bren, your presence here is most welcome. I have another task to which your maturing skills are well suited. Attend to me closely. Expansive wounds that ooze corruption have formed throughout the forest. After examining the traces of sizable disturbances you previously cleansed, I can only conclude that this phenomena is the work of malign agents. It must be found swiftly, lest the corruption spread, and I would have you assist in the investigation. Guildmaster, you must help me! Sylphie, what is it this time? Since I got back from the South Shroud, I've spent all my time studying the forces of nature. I even sat through one of Hero Nolandel's lectures. Ooh, one whole lecture. Does not a degree make, my dear. The Twelveswood is crying out in pain. My skills are a bit lacking in some areas. Most areas. But I want to do what I can for the forest. Lacking. Sylphie, you have yet to master a single offensive spell. Without the means to defend yourself, it would be far too dangerous to send you off into the forest alone. So I am to stay here, then? Not necessarily. Bren, with your consent, I would have Sylphie accompany you once more. I do not propose this arrangement solely for their safety in mind. Given the nature of the investigation, it is like that Sylphie's innate talent for hearing will prove as useful as your conjuring will to her. There is much you might accomplish together. Sylphie, you are not to approach any sources of corruption without Bren at your side. Do I make myself clear? And should you chance an encounter the origin of these disturbances, do not initiate a confrontation. Too often you allow your curiosity to overwhelm your good sense. Now go and may the elementals watch over you. Yes, Guildmaster. Something tells me we should start at the quarry mill in the South Shroud. Meet me there as soon as you can, and hurry, the corruption is spreading. Of course, if you hear her say that the corruption is spreading, why wouldn't you send more conjurers to deal with it? What even is this corruption most of the time? That's what I want to know. We keep talking about it as an evil force that just spawns out of nowhere. Is the life stream itself tainted? Had that question before already earlier in these streams. There's the tainted soil. Please do what you can. Or is it like a Nausicaa thing? Where the entire Earth got corrupted a long time ago. And it just needs to take a lot of time to heal. That was brilliant, but it was only the start. The forest groans in pain. I can hear it. I think it's coming from north? No, northeast. Let's go have a look. Oops. Nope. If you fly up high enough, it'll eventually undo all confrontation. More corrupted soil. Over to you. I knew I was gonna draw attention. I want him. I wish to kill him. Specifically. Oh look, a hole to be buried in. Fancy that. This is why you mind your business. You're doing really well, but I think there's another one, and well, it calls to me even more fervently than the last. It's to the east, I think. Yes, to the east. Right there, the corruption is everywhere. Maybe it's from interacting with the void, but doesn't that also mean black mages are technically causing corruption if that's the case? And what about me as an aura? Is my whole body just corruption? If so, does my homelands have this even worse? Nice work. The earth here feels healed, and yet there's another disturbance. It's really big. Really big. If it's hard to describe, but it feels sort of wrong-er, I think? I think it might be what's causing all of this. I know Brother Isumi said we weren't to confront it, but we can't just let it corrupt the rest of the forest. And however powerful it is, it can't be any more powerful than you. Well, you're amazing. What I meant to say is, I'm willing to risk a scolding if you are. I'd rather report back first, and then we get a bunch of people to do it. It's not far from here. Somewhere to the southeast, I think. Shall we at least have a closer look? We're just gonna pretend she ran off by herself, because... I do not agree with this decision, young lady. I don't think you need to be able to hear the voices of the forest to notice that, do you, Bryn? The corruption is definitely coming from somewhere around here. That's odd. As soon as we arrived, a sense of wrongness I had suddenly felt less. Well, it just felt less. Maybe it's moving around then. Maybe it has wings or feet. It's almost as if it's holding its breath, or hiding. Could be. Do you see that? Just in that one spot. There, the air seems wrong. No, I can't see air. Oh, I was correct about the wings. Just because of the other bat that was eating people, that's what made me think of it. You guys really need to deal with Hawk Manor. Like, it's seeping out. This creature's a void scent. I heard Brother Isumi speak of them. Be careful, you'll be paralyzed if you meet its gaze. And yeah, I do see the elements back there. It's drawing power from the corruption. We have to cleanse the disturbance first. Oh, we gotta get rid of this one then. Alright, if you say so. Oh no. Did you just... We don't know that. The power of nature is incredible. I feel like I can do anything. Well, at least they're tuned to me instead of her. Damn it. By the way, sort of like with Skaith, with Black Mage, you can cast arrow while moving. Not the best of spells. Yeah, at first I thought she had cast Blizzard. I was confused. But it was the imps. Should probably actually aim this way, just in case it casts gaze. I don't want it aimed at her. Yeah. I don't know if her AI is smart enough to move. You weren't casting from yourself instead of the earth again, were you? No, this time she's giggling. She's lost her mind. Isn't it amazing? Did the breeze always feel this good? Was the ground always this warm? I'm so glad I finally understand. I just wish I could tell my mother how incredible nature feels. Oh, you're injured here. Yeah, well, just don't get any funky ideas about that restoration spell. We don't need a 2.0 run of that. Don't worry, healing doesn't drain me anymore. Not since I learned how to borrow from nature. And I have you to thank for that. Let's return to the guild. We have to explain everything to Brother Izumi. Alright, last bit. As Conjurer. Welcome back, Bren and Sylphie. Our mission was a success, Guildmaster. Quite. I take the two of you conspired to defy my orders. Well, the forest was suffering. We couldn't just walk away. It's not Bren's fault. It's mine. It was all my idea. I take full responsibility. Calm yourself, child. You did nothing I did not foresee. I am of no mind to lecture you. Indeed, Gridania is indebted to you for your heroic deeds. The corruption born of Akuman has taken root in the calamity-weakened soil. There is no telling how much further it might have spread if you had not defeated the creature. Oh, is it some side effect of the calamity? But what kind of side effect? And if I'm not mistaken, Sylphie, you succeeded in drawing upon the energies of nature during the battle. How did you... Yes, I did. I'm not really sure how it happened. I remember thinking how badly I wanted to help Bren, and then I suddenly felt the power surging through me. That is as it should be. One does not simply choose to borrow from nature's strength. The mind may command only that which the heart permits. In your desperation to help your friend, you opened your heart to nature, and nature responded to your need. But we must not forget your part in this, Bren. It is clear to me that your journey with Sylphie has brought you closer still to the pinnacle of our art. I believe you are ready for the last of my teachings. Thus it is with great pleasure that I pass on another of our guild's magics. A more potent form of the cure spell is now yours to command. I have no doubt that it will serve you well in your continuing endeavors. Wherever you go, nature will go with you, my friend. Ever shall the earth meet your footfall, and the wind guide your path. Okay, Walnut Cane. Yeah, we did dungeon wipe one singular time, and that was because the tank was like, ah, crap, I didn't realize you were level 29 and don't have Cure 2. I was doing my best, but I couldn't heal them at a pace that mattered. Even if I cast Cure over and over again, they still died because, well, I didn't have Cure 2. Level up. And from there, the White Mage quest line begins. So this costs more, but I believe it also heals more. Potency 700, yeah. Cast time is 197. It's a little longer, but not too much. Honestly, probably just do Cure 2 for the most part. Yeah, it's not that big of a difference. Your MP does deplete a little bit faster though, so we probably have to keep an eye on it. But either way, that is it for the White Mage quests. Hang on. You're new. Brea? Unicorn power. Oh, that's... I see. We only get access to this once we become Conjurer. Leveler, Brea has the need of a benevolent adventurer to tend to a wounded beast. You know, I could technically do this since it's related to Conjurer. Your deeds of light have earned you the respect of all in Stillglade Fane. People say you're a breath of fresh air within these still caverns. Truly, you're an inspiration to us all. I don't know why my S's are so hissy today. Having plied you with praise, I would make a request of you. An unusual creature has appeared near Fall Gourd Float in the North Shroud. Witness reports say that it is badly wounded. While it hasn't proven itself a danger to the locals, a wounded beast is unpredictable in the best of times. Please find it and provide it with such succor as you are able. Off we go then. Yeah, sort of like the Bard had a music quest tied to it. This is a different mount. The creature appears to be in great pain. Let us heal it. Oops. Helps if you aim. Maybe this? Just regular cure. Cure 2 doesn't count, weirdly enough. The creature seems to be grateful to you. That's it? That was short. Welcome back. Were you able to find the creature? And what did it look like, if I might ask? Four-legged and tall, with a pristine white coat, and a single horn protruding from its brow. There's no mistake. That was a unicorn you healed. Unicorns are rare and majestic beasts native to the inner region of Kurthus. They're extremely shy and want to avoid all contact with man. The notion that you were able to gain its trust is most thrilling. I've seen enough wild creatures to know that its behavior towards you means more than simple gratitude. Nay, the unicorn must have sensed kinship in you. Should you doubt my words, pray take this whistle and prepare yourself. A truly uplifting experience awaits. Use this. You can now summon a unicorn mount. Mount or dismount. That's something a little different. Where is... There we go. Not long ago, Eorzean unicorns numbered in the thousands and could be oft-seen roaming the Kurthus highlands in great majestic herds that would render the mountains as white as snow. Poaching has caused the population to decline, and if it were not for your act of kindness, there would be one fewer. Right, there we go. A little bit of unicorn lore. But now, as a result, we really are at the end of the Conjurer's quest. All of it. Nothing else remains. So going forward, I'm going to get started on the White Mage quests and do the usual. So if you want to see more Final Fantasy XIV content like this in the future, like and subscribe, and I hope to see you on the future videos. Bye-bye!